Islamic identity, which I call the connection method. Number one, you need to create a safe environment that is not judgmental, it's accepting. That is not harsh, it's loving. That is not strict, it's compromising. Our youth need to be able to relax and not fear being yelled at for making a mistake. They need to feel safe to come to us, not hide from us. Do the youth feel safe to come to us when they make a mistake, or do they prefer to go to their peers? Do the youth feel safe to turn to us and ask about their doubts, or do they get misguided on the net? Do the youth feel safe to turn to us and share their personal struggles, or do they pretend to be what we want them to be and hide the truth? I remember an incident that highlights the importance of a safe and loving environment. It was in a coffee shop on Russell Road in Dubai, where an American diplomat took her shahada. She had been attending my halaqas where I combined psychology and Islam for months. The halaqa was a safe haven for everyone, an environment that was loving, an environment that was accepting, and an environment that made them feel a sense of belonging. It was that feeling of belonging that moved her. And she asked for us to go out for coffee together. We talked about her beliefs. She had all the right beliefs. She had been married to a Muslim man for over 10 years. And even though she knew so much, she never embraced Islam. She had the knowledge, but she didn't have the community to support her. She expressed that the halaqah, in the halaqah, she felt a sense of community. She felt a sense of sisterhood. She felt a sense of belonging. Right there in the coffee shop, she took her shahada, alhamdulillah. Our youth deserve a safe environment. Our youth deserve feeling of belonging, and our youth deserve to feel loved. I want to personally thank Mass and the active members in the community for creating a welcoming and wonderful environment for our youth where they can be themselves without judgment. Number two is to build a relationship with the youth. A strong relationship with the community is a strong relationship with their Islamic identity. A strong relationship with the community is a strong relationship with Islam. And a strong relationship with the community is a strong relationship with Allah. So to build a strong relationship with anyone, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your family members or community members or friends, you need to get to know them. You have to know their names, who they are. You have to know their likes and dislikes. You have to know their wants and needs. I remember living in Egypt, where I was shopping in a small grocery store. And a lady approached me. She had heard me speaking English. You're going to like this. And she came up to me and she said, "There are 5 pillars of Islam." So bless her heart, she wanted to give me dawah. Without knowing anything about me, she had no idea how long that I was a born Muslim. She had no idea about my background. So we need to know who we're talking to before we start teaching them. We need to know who we're talking to before we start correcting them. We need to know who we are talking to before we start judging them. Once my son, Amir, was playing basketball at a masjid while wearing shorts beneath his knee. Okay, and when Adhan called, he went into the masjid, did his wudu, ready to pray, and an older uncle came up to me and came up to him and said, "Why are you coming to masjid naked?" Okay. And there was a lady who was interested. I emphasize the word interested in Islam. She came to the masjid during prayer time. Out of respect, she wore the hijab. She came in, and one sister masjid police came to her and said, "You are plucking your eyebrow, it's haram." That was the last time she came to the masjid. We can't do this to our youth. We need to get to know them before we advise them. We need to get to know them before we affect them. We need to know them to build them. At Mass, they take the time to know the youth. At Mass, they take the time to empower the youth. And at Mass, they take the time to make the youth feel valued. Number 3 is create a positive association. So there is a physiological reaction that we feel whenever we have a good experience. I want you to think back to Pavlov's dog. Pavlov was presented, the dog was presented with meat and paired up with a ring, a bell. So there was the meat and then there was the bell. And every time he would salivate, right? To the point where the bell rang and the dog started salivating without even seeing the meat. Now we need to use this, right? So we actually release endorphins and dopamine when we enter a place that brings us feelings of happiness and brings us good memories. So we need to use this knowledge to create a positive association for our youth. They need a community that makes them feel happy to be a Muslim. They need a community that makes them feel proud to be a Muslim. They need a community that makes them feel valued as a Muslim. All our events, all our interactions, and all our planning should prioritize creating this positive association. In the first step of the connection method, we create a safe environment. When it's a safe environment where the youth can be themselves and feel empowered to contribute. In the second step, we get to know our youth. When we know them, we know their strengths and we can empower them by getting them involved. In the third step, we create a positive association by making events and interactions meaningful, mindful, and fun. Step number 4 is to empower the youth. We empower them by trusting them. We empower them by giving them leadership roles. We empower them by recognizing their positive traits. On a personal note, Mass is near and dear to my heart because they recognize both my son's strength and empowered them, mashallah, by giving them responsibility and trust. So thank you for that. The last step of my connection method is lead by example. Your psychological health is dependent of having congruence between your beliefs and your actions. So if you believe that prayer is important and you pray, you feel good. If you feel that exercise and eating right is good and you do it, you feel good. But if you feel that lying is wrong, but you do it, you feel horrible inside. If you, the more your ideal self matches your self-image, the better you feel about yourself. So when you walk the talk, the youth will respect you. When you walk the talk, the youth will listen to you. When you walk the talk, the youth will love you. And if they love you, they will love Islam because you represent Islam. Mass brings education, leadership, and recreation for our youth. In order for Mass to continue to empower our youth and their Islamic identity, in order for Mass to continue to provide a safe environment for spiritual growth, and in order for Mass to continue to instill leadership skills in our youth, we need your continued support. Mass is not simply a place of worship, it's a place for youth to hang out. That's because the environment is welcoming and accepting. And Mass does not only address the spiritual needs of the community, it addresses the social needs in a safe environment. From soccer, qiyam nights, to talent shows, Mass keeps delivering exciting new programs for the youth, mashallah. All of this is possible with the support of the community. an ongoing charity. I thank you so much for always being so hospitable and always making this place where our youth love to come. Jazakallah khair.